I'm joined on the line by Jasmine Birtles from Money Magpie. Hello, Jasmine.
Hello there, and I have to say, I totally agree with you. I was watching him standing, and I just thought, he just looks like an accountant. He looks like an accountant, he sounds like an accountant, he probably thinks like an accountant. Why he ever did any other job than Chancellor, I don't know. Makes perfect sense.
I know, because you think he was Foreign Secretary before, and I'm not sure he's the right guy to go to the ambassador's reception and be caning the Ferrero Rocher.
Absolutely. I mean, as you say, nor is Boris Johnson by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, at least he is, he's colourful. I don't think he's anything but colourful, frankly.
I mean, Philip Hammond is a reassuring presence in number 11 Downing Street, isn't he? Because he is so self-evidently very boring.
Dull. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. And frankly, I think that this year's autumn statement was not exactly exciting either. I mean, even by budget autumn statement standards, there wasn't a lot to laugh at. And he did say at the start, his difficulty is how to manage things in difficult times. So He said right at the start, it's a tough time, it's going to be tougher. The question is, how do we manage it? So you're already on a downer, really, before we've even started.
Yeah, brutally honest, though, to be fair to him.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And frankly, it doesn't tell us anything we don't know, because, the whole thing is overshadowed by Brexit and all the uncertainty that comes with Brexit and, the various figures that have come out. The Office of Budget Responsibility says that our growth is going to be down next year and down the year after. Oh, great. So that looks like his tax revenues are going to be down, so he's got less to give away, and he's trying to grab more in at the same time. So that's going to be tough for him. So he doesn't have much in the way of giveaways, not much fun, frankly, for any of us. But there were a few, I thought, a few small, decent, interesting things that he's announced. For example, getting rid of lettings fees. And there are a lot of people, and it's about 4 million people in this, 4 million households, not just people, households that rent in this country. And they have been shafted in various different ways. And one of them is the extraordinary lettings fees that a lot of estate agencies or lettings agencies have charged. So, yeah, good on him for getting rid of those.
Where will people see a difference? Are there any people in society who are going to see any difference in their tax return this year or next year?
Well, I think if you're on basic income, basic wage, that's going to go up in April, so that's good. He's not taking away as much as people feared with that universal credit for people who were actually managing to get some work. There were fears that he'd be taking away their credits and everything. He's not taking away quite as much. But generally speaking, there was a small faint hope that the jams, the just about managings, were going to be given a bit of extra. But frankly, I can't think of anything much that he's done in terms of helping those who are just about managing. In fact, I don't want to put a total downer on it, but really it is going to be a bit tougher next year, partly because of sterling being low. So if the pound stays low, and at the moment it's looking like it will, then that'll mean that a lot of our things will be more expensive. Thankfully, petrol's not going to go up as much as it might have done because he's freezing the duty on that. So we're not going to get extra tax on petrol. Thankfully, because it's quite possible that petrol will go up just because the pound is low and because OPEC might put the price up. But there's a possibility that we might end up paying a bit more on our insurance, certainly our home insurance, pet insurance and whatever, because he's putting up a bit of tax on that, although he is cracking down on whiplash. So that should hopefully bring our car insurance down a bit, but you just can't know. It's he's taking with one and giving one hand and giving with another.
Jasmine, on that bleak note, thank you ever so much for joining.